Welcome to the Crisscross Corner Podcast. Welcome back to the Crisscross Corner Podcast. I'm your solo host, Chris Canty, this week. And before we begin, shout out to all the members of the Crisscross Corner Podcast Facebook group. Let's welcome our new members, Maura Aline, Levita Davidson, Samantha Gretsch, Tony Horn, Nobi Lee, Luis Bannerman, Robin Thornton, Mashana Green, and Shoshana Lee. Share the podcast group with a friend, join the conversation every week, and watch live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter every Tuesday from 8 to 9. Listen to the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and on the Anchor app. Support the podcast with a monthly subscription of $5 a month to help sustain future episodes on Anchor. That is anchor.fm/crisscrosscorner/support. All donations go towards the show to give you all the best content possible, including buying equipment, money for food tours, money to pay guests and co-hosts. I might want to pay Mark one day. You never know. I might want to pay myself and the guests to come on the show. So please support the podcast every month for $5 a month. Your support you give will give you the power to give us suggestions for topics every week for the podcast, including the top 10 list. So please donate. Thank you for your support. All right, let's get into this. Before we start with what you do in Detroit, I would like to let you guys know, PSA, that the city of Detroit has made a new app called Improve Detroit. The Improve Detroit app allows residents to report issues around the city. You get to take a picture, report what's going on, what you want done or what should be done, send it to the city, and the DPW will come out and try to fix it. Yes, I said try because it's the city of Detroit. We have a lot of things to do. So your problem won't be, I won't say it won't be fixed quickly, but it'll be tended to in the future. And the city knows about it. Thank you for making this app. All right. Congratulations to the NCAA Division I champions. For the men's side, it was Baylor, and for the women's side, it was Stanford. So congratulations. UCLA knocked out Michigan State and Michigan. And then I believe they went against Gonzaga. They tied the game at 90, and then Gonzaga took the ball down the court a little bit past halfway, just threw it up in the air, and it went in three-pointer, 93-90. And that had to be the biggest upset. I want to say upset because it's Gonzaga, but based on UCLA and Gonzaga's trajectory towards the finals, that was a huge basket. So congratulations, Baylor, who beat Gonzaga to win the championship. On to next year. Moving on to baseball. The Texas Rangers sell out Global Life Stadium in Dallas, Texas. Technically Arlington, but we're not going to be technical. All right. So the Texas Rangers sell over 38,000 tickets on their home opener, marking one of the first full capacity sporting events this year. In a year. It's been a long time since we had full capacity arenas for sports. So shout out to Texas. I don't know how many people got the Rona, but apparently they don't think it's real. So, and apparently they didn't care. So they were just happy to have baseball. So, and the show must go on. Shout out to Michigan's Juwan Howard, named Basketball Coach of the Year by Associated Press. Shout out to him. And the Michigan basketball team, men's basketball team, for winning the Big Ten championship. Just wanted everybody to know that COVID-19 numbers are surging once again in Michigan. please, please, please stay safe out there. The vaccine doesn't mean you're immune to the disease. Okay. This just means you have a vaccine in your body that if COVID comes in, it might fight it. Doesn't mean that you can't give it, still can't give it to others. So please social distance if you're outside or inside, wash your hands, wipe down surfaces, et cetera, et cetera. Remember, wear a mask. You are not Superman, all right? You can be asymptomatic and still spread the disease. So please, please, please take this seriously. All right. Now we have, going back to MLB. Speaking of MLB, the MLB announced it is moving the All-Star game from Atlanta in response to the restrictive voting legislation passed in Georgia. So I think it was 43 states had a voting restriction law legislation, whatever it's called, put into what's it called? For them to vote on. Georgia voted on it. And I guess the MLB, MLB is the MLB. So I guess they're with us now. They're with us now with voter restriction. Basically, the states that enacted these voter restriction laws are reacting to the voter turnout as opposed to the voting fraud in 2016. Either or, if there was voter fraud in 2016 or not, more people turned out to vote in 2020 because of voting from home. You can mail it in, just easier ways to vote, and more people turned out that way. And that's the main reason why Joe Biden won the presidency back in 2020. So these states are putting these voting restriction laws back in to keep certain people away from the voting booths. Because without those mail-in ballots and absentee ballots, Trump would still be in office right now. You heard it here first. All right. So you heard it here first. The restrictive laws, the restrictive voting laws are not a response to voter fraud. All right. I'm going to say that again. The restrictive laws are not a response to voter fraud. It is a response to voter turnout. So if you think your vote does not matter, it does, because they're trying to take it away from you again. So please vote in 2022, your local elections, and of course, the primary in 2024. Speaking of Republicans and Democrats have put in, I would say Biden, put in an infrastructure plan that would allow better infrastructure, of course, better roads, better airports, better trains, better, everything. So Detroit, Amtrak in particular, pushes for a Detroit to Toronto line, a train, all right? It's Amtrak. A push for a line from Detroit to Toronto in wake of Biden's new infrastructure plan. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I don't know if you have ever driven through Canada, but it is the most boring thing in the world. Then they go like kilometers an hour, so you might get pulled over by Canadian troopers with the little hats. So I think, and this is not just from Toronto to Detroit. This could be from like a small city in, I don't know, Idaho to Denver. You know what I mean? This is an opportunity for cities to interconnect and have people live in, especially with this day and age where people are working remotely. This is a time where you can have these new infrastructure plans, new train lines, new highways, everything just for the future. Because right now our infrastructure sucks. Trump tried to do it, Obama tried to do it, Bush tried to do it, Biden's trying to do it. So let's hope this works in the future. A Toronto to Detroit line would be good for the city. It'll connect Toronto to Chicago, because Detroit is a midway point between Chicago and Toronto if you're driving. Um, yeah, that'll be good. I would ride that. I wouldn't drive. I would never drive again to Toronto. I would always fly or take the train if Amtrak gets the money to do what they're supposed to do. It also depends on the Canadian government as well, so we're not going to get into that. Into government, the Detroit students send a letter to the U.S. Education Secretary requesting he visit the city of Detroit to see how bad conditions are or how good. I'm just going to leave it at that because we know what DPS is like. We know what the conditions these people live in. Back to work. I don't want to go back to work. People in offices are actually asking their employees to come back to work. And we're like, who are you talking to? What you talk about, Willis? I ain't coming back to work. So what would a permanent shift away from in-person work mean for Detroit? Because majority of the buildings downtown are office buildings. Are we going to go back to the days where office buildings were 0% capacity? What would this mean for Detroit and the city's downtown business district, the financial district? Because downtown Southfield, all the banks left downtown Southfield. They moved back downtown. All their offices are downtown. Downtown Southfield is a ghost town. Well, downtown Detroit become a ghost town. For millions of Americans, working from home has quickly become the norm. With the pandemic forcing workplaces to shutter, employees have pushed to adapt to remote work. What seemed like a temporary solution has now endured for a year, leaving many to ask if we will ever go back to the traditional office space again. If remote work does persist, what does that mean for cities in downtown districts? What does that mean? I guess we'll see what happens in the next few years. We still have those 3 towers that are supposed to be coming up downtown, the Gilbert Towers, I call them, his babies. So will those be all available for people? They'll be available, but will they be occupied? Will there be any vacancies? We'll see in the coming future. All right, speaking of sad news, the voice behind the Disney trailers, like remember the 90s and 2000s DVD intros, like coming soon to own on video and DVD. That guy, he has passed away. Mark Elliott has passed away at the age of 81. So iconic. We grew up with this man. Every Disney VHS/DVD we ever had, this man's voice has introduced us to many trailers and many movies, including Star Wars, Dumbo, Mary Poppins, Hercules, Tarzan, The Incredibles, Finding Nemo, Monsters, Inc., and of course, Ratatouille. Rest in peace, Mark Elliott. You will be missed. Speaking about missing in Disney, Disney owns ESPN. And yes, I'm going to talk about my main man, Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce was caught on Instagram Live in a room full of, I would say, they say exotic dancers. They were strippers. Okay, women of the night. All right. And ESPN fired Paul Pierce on Monday. People say it was overreaction. I don't think it was overreaction. You're talking to a company that owns pretty much every company with movies with racy women, racy scenes, nudity, free form. You're gonna fire Paul Pierce over some strippers? Come on. What you doing, Detroit? That's what all I got for today for what you do in Detroit. We're gonna go to the topic of the day. But before we go there, please shop at the Chris Carr store on Teespring, offering some cool Detroit swag. We have the Detroit collection, the Black Excellence Collection. Grab a crisscross corner mask. I cannot speak today. Grab a crisscross corner mask. Don't Doubt Detroit collection is now new. So grab a sweatshirt or a t-shirt. Promo code is KRIS for 26% off because it's my birthday discount. I'm 26 now. So I'm giving you guys 26% off everything in the store. But you got to put in that promo code KRIS on teespring.com/stores/crisscross. Thank you for your support. Also, we have the Sharp Blade Barbershop offering the highest quality haircuts in a clean, safe environment. Men and women can go there to get their haircut or styled up. Contact Jermaine Hammond or at jham401 on Instagram or at Tattoo Lee. That's TATOO, not tattoo, TATOO _Lee on Instagram. They are located at 18625 West McNichols in Detroit, Michigan, on the west side, 48219. You can visit at the Sharp Blade Barbershop on IG or give a ring ding to at 3jham401 on Instagram. Sicily's Pizza, offering the best pizza in Detroit. Naturally leaving dough, never bleached and never bromated. It is located on the southwest side of Detroit. I just had a huge extra large pizza last night. It was so good. It's like New York style, nice crispy edges, charred on the bottom. Oh, it's so good. Whew. 3554 West Verner Highway, Detroit, Michigan, on the southwest side. Or you can go to at Sicily's Detroit on IG. All right, let's go to the topic of the day. Today, we're going to be talking about these restaurant patios because today was 83 degrees and I saw a lot of people on patios at restaurants. And because of COVID, that's probably going to be the best place to go during these times of uncertainty. So right now we're going to be going over the top 30. So I'm going to go through this list real quick because it's hot outside, it's sunny, and I want to enjoy it like you guys. So number one, we have Como's, 22812 Woodward Avenue in Ferndale. Nice place to eat. Good pizza, good Italian food. It's pretty nice. I've been there a few times. It's a good atmosphere. All right, we have Portofino. I haven't been there. I might have to go there. 3455 Biddle Avenue, Wyandotte, Michigan, downriver. Wow. If you rather eat on the water instead of next to it, Portofino has you covered with their U.S. Coast Guard approved vessels, the MV Portofino, and the Friendship. But for those who are easily seasick, stick to the patio where things aren't so seasicky. Wow, interesting. So Portofino, the Coriander Kitchen and Farm, Riverside Boulevard, 14601, Detroit, Michigan. Wow, that's amazing. That looks really great. I want to go. Okay, it's located in the Jefferson Chalmers area. It was a previously vacant marina, which they turned into a restaurant. So you might want to check it out. That sounds like a good spot. Next, we have the Waterfront Wyandotte, of course, back down to Wyandotte, off Biddle, 507 Biddle Avenue, Wyandotte, Michigan. Next, we have Joe Muir Seafood, of course, the riverfront, 400 Renaissance Center, suite number 1404. Please, if you're going to go here, please get a reservation and bring a credit card because you're going to be spending a lot of money. Next, we have the Rattlesnake Club, another place I've been to, 300 River Place Drive in Detroit. Please get a reservation and bring a lot of money. If amazing views are what you look for in a patio dining, then look no further than the Rattlesnake Club. Its classic Detroit spot has an eye-watering view of the Detroit River and the Canadian skyline. For more than 30 years, the Rattlesnake Club has been serving up locally grown, seasonally sourced food with an atmosphere that just screams exclusive. But the secret is out. Anyone can eat on the garden terrace. Despite its sounding like a place where princes would get married, you would love it. All right. This is a great place. If you're looking for a side of Detroit, if you're looking for a side of the Detroit Riverwalk, the international skyline with your scallops, you're in luck. All right. I obviously get the steak because that's the only thing that I like there. And I pay a fortune for it. And I don't care. That's a once in a year place, folks. I would never go there more than once a year because it's too expensive. All right, next we have Mudgie's in Corktown, 1413 Brooklyn Street in Detroit. I usually get I think it was a turkey. There's a sandwich place, so like a turkey sandwich I had last time. It was pretty good. If you want a sandwich or a cold one, look no further than the Detroit favorite, Mudgie's Deli and Wine Shop. In addition to a spacious interior, Mudgie's has an accommodating patio space decked out in tiki-style decor. Lounge seating is available, and there's an outdoor bar. So please, Mudgie's Deli, 1413 Brooklyn Street in Detroit. Next, we have Townhouse, of course, for 500 Woodward Avenue, a few blocks away from Campus Martius. This upscale restaurant in the heart of downtown is known for turning it up a notch on the wow factor. This goes for Townhouse's outdoor seating, which brings the contemporary luxe feeling inside out. It's a pretty nice place. The food is okay. Would I recommend it? Yeah, just once. All right, Madison Pub. We have 15 North Walnut Street in Mount Clemens. So this is a great place to eat in Mount Clemens. Mount Clemens has a lot of like hidden spots because it's like way out there. It's like out there by I think it's 16 Mile and Gratiot. It's out there. It's a long ways away from the downtown Detroit, but it's pretty nice. So Madison Pub, 15 North Walnut Street. Next, we have Sedona Tap House, of course, in Novi, 27466 Novi Road, with locations throughout 8 states. Sedona Tap House brings Southwest-inspired cuisine and lots of beer to 2 Detroit locations. So the one in Novi, of course. You know what that means. You can eat desert fire jalapenos or a big old heaping of Devil's Pass pasta. It's pretty good. I like the Devil's Pass pasta. And it's all outside. There's a huge pit. I call it the Devil's Pit because it's just a great atmosphere, guys. Sedona Tap House in Novi. Check it out. Motor City Wine. If you like wine, like tasting wine and all that stuff, 1949 Michigan Avenue. All right, Motor City Wine. That's for wine people. They like wine tasting. The Social Kitchen, Birmingham, Michigan, 225 East Maple Road. Creative comfort food in a creative, comfortable environment is on the menu at this Birmingham restaurant. Social Kitchen offers a rooftop lounge that is as modern and colorful as they serve the food. That's amazing. I've been there, so it's an amazing place. Again, reservations, y'all. All right, Atwater Brewery, downtown, 237 Joseph Campbell Avenue. We have, it's pretty good food. It's a brewery, so beer, food, wings. It's a great place. Next, we have Sinbad's, 100 St. Clair Street, Detroit, Michigan. Since 1949, Sinbad's has been serving up fresh seafood with a view of Detroit that is just amazing. All right. It's a great view. So please go to Sinbad's. Next, we have La Dolce Vita, which is 17546 Woodward Avenue in Detroit. Looking for an outdoor Italian restaurant to impress a date, or just looking to treat yourself? La Dolce Vita, beautiful courtyard patio along historic Woodward Avenue is what you've been missing. I got to check this place out, and I'll do a little crisscross corner adventure episode for La Dolce Vita. Stay tuned for that. Next, we have Al Barzon Restaurante, which is on Junction Avenue in Southwest. So 3710 Junction Avenue, fusing Mexican and Italian dishes. So it's like a Mexican Italian like fusion down there. So I might try that out too. Next, we have Sam Morello, of course, at the Chanel Hotel, 1400 Woodward Avenue, one of the city's hottest restaurants attached to one of the hottest hotels across from going to be the tallest building in Michigan soon in a few years. So pasta, wood-fired seafood dishes, gelato, New York strip steak, of course, all the works. Great restaurant. Reservations, y'all. Reservations. Key word in this whole episode, reservations. Next, we have Old Miami, which is 3930 Cass Avenue. It is a bar which has an outdoor seating area. Oh, wow. Next, we have Southern Standard, which is off of 2nd Avenue, 3921 2nd Avenue, to be exact. It is a stylish spot. It has wines, brews, of course, outdoor seating with like a chalk kind of thing on the walls, like a black wall with like chalk kind of like artwork. It's pretty nice. Next, we have the Peterborough, which is 1420, it's 420 Peterborough Avenue. 420 Peterborough Street in Detroit. If you're in the mood for something more than just a classic takeout, the Peterborough features a modern take on Chinese cuisine in chic surroundings with craft beer and cocktails available. Yep. Nice, Peter. I drove past there before. Interesting. The Monarch Club, of course, the famous Monarch Club. Please, 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 when you go to the Monarch Club, please dress business casual, please. Or in nice clothes. All right? And don't smell like weed. From one of the Monarch's Club's ultra chic 3 terraces, you can see the Detroit Athletic Club, the Fox Theater, and the 36th District Court, the Guardian Building, all 3 major sports stadiums, and a host of other landmarks. All right. So from there, you can see everything. It's a great building to see, great building to be on, great restaurant to eat at. But please, please reserve your spot, reservations, y'all. And please wear business casual wear or something nice and don't smell like weed. That's all I ask. We have the Detroit Shipping Company, which was, they put like all the shipping containers together and they kind of like gutted them out and made this huge restaurant / mall out of it. It's on Peterborough Street, down the street from the Peterborough place that we talked about earlier. It's on 474 Peterborough Street. So it's a good place, a good courtyard patio, good place before the Pistons game or Red Wings game or a concert during the summer. Great place to hang out. Slow's Barbecue, Skip. I hate Slow's Barbecue. The Alley Dock, the Alley Deck, at Garden Bowl Lounge. So it's right behind Garden Bowl. And it's it's on top. I forgot about that. It's on top, but it's in like the back. So you're looking at the hospitals. So you're not looking at Woodward, you're looking at the hospitals, basically. It's at 4140 Woodward Avenue. And it's a pretty good place. You can go bowling, and get some pepperoni pizza, some drinks, chilling. It's pretty great. Detroit has some really good places, y'all. Y'all need to come check them out. Watermark Bar and Grill, 420 Jefferson Avenue in St. Clair Shores. Pretty much a seafood place. You're off the Lake St. Clair, so never a bad spot. Never a bad spot on Lake St. Clair. Next, we have Lumen, Detroit. Lumen is at the new, I believe Lumen is at, what is that? Beacon Park. So I believe it's at Beacon Park. So check it out there. It's a pretty nice place. Has an outdoor seating area. Blake's Testing Room, all the way in Armada, Michigan, at Blake's. During this summertime, springtime, get to hang out with your friends on the patio, sipping some cider, apple cider, craft beers. Then in the fall, you get to do the corn maze, apple picking, get the sugar donuts and everything else. So try out Blake's 17985 Armada Road in Armada, all the way in Armada. So Armada, Michigan, Blake Farms, y'all. Great place to go. Next, we have the Skip, which is the Belt Alley. If you haven't been downtown Detroit in the past 5 to 10 years, they made a huge alleyway called the Belt. It's a huge place where restaurants happen and soft serve ice cream. It's an amazing place. Grab a cocktail. There's a lot of outdoor seating areas in the Belt. So please, please, please check them out. You don't have to reserve, but please do wear your masks because there's a lot of people there. And apparently COVID's not a thing down there. So please, please wear your masks. The Morrow, which is 8044 Kercheval Avenue in Detroit. It's more like a lot of meat. So if you like meat, come tomorrow on 8044 Kercheval on the east side. Pretty good place. And then, of course, we have Ottava Via, 1400 Michigan Avenue. Fresh air, Italian food, and good vibes. Could you ask for anything better? Ottava Via in Corktown offers a brick patio where you can nom on some elevated Italian favorites, pasta, pizza, panini, as well as side dishes and an entree porchetta. Porchetta, porchetta, porchetta. I heard it all anyways. All right. So those are the areas where you can get a nice meal on a patio outdoors. There's other rooftop bars, rooftop clubs that you can go to this spring, this summer. Just go out and enjoy your summer in Detroit with these places. I honestly want to go back to the Rooster Tail. I don't think the Rooster Tail was on this list, but the Rooster Tail, Sinbad's, Rattlesnake Club is a good place. The Peterborough is nice. And I want to, Mudge's is okay. But I really like Joe Muir's because you're in the Renaissance Center looking over the riverfront and Canada and the Detroit River. It's a great aesthetic. Tell them that Chris sent you. All right. Speaking of good things and good photos, turn your photos into affordable, stunning wall art with mixed tiles. Just upload your photos with mixed tiles. Choose a style, choose a frame, and stick them to your wall. Mixed tiles stick to your wall with no wall damage. So you can take them off and put them on another wall. Take them off, put them on another wall. I have a few mixed tiles. I have about 100, but I love my mixed tiles. I have a huge wall of all my travels that I do, the crisscross wall, where I have every city I've ever been in with me in it, next to huge landmarks like the Eiffel Tower, AT&T Stadium, Brooklyn Bridge, et cetera, et cetera. But you can capture all those moments and put them on your wall to say that you've been there, or I did this, or that's my family, or that's my baby, all on mixed tiles. Over 1 million satisfied customers choose mixed tiles. Mother's Day is coming up, y'all. So please get those Mother's Day photos and put it in on a mixed tile. They have better mixed tiles now. They have 8x8. Now they have a huge, I don't know what it's called. They have a huge, I think it's a template, like 20x20 now. So you can get a huge mixed tile, put it on your wall of your mom. Or like a Mother's Day portrait, or like a huge family photo. Put it up on the wall with mixed tiles. Go to mixedtiles.com or get the Pink Mixed Tiles app today. All right, y'all. It's time for the top 10 list of the week. Now, most of y'all, I think most of y'all has saw, yes, I said has saw the verses on Easter Sunday. I think I already did a Earth, Wind, and Fire top 10 list on before I made the podcast. So I put that on the Facebook page before I made the podcast. But I really haven't really paid attention to the Isley Brothers. There's a lot of songs that I knew from the Isley Brothers that I didn't like knew they were the Isley Brothers, but I knew the song from the Isley Brothers. You know what I mean? So here are my top 10 Isley Brothers songs inspired by the verses on Easter Sunday. Shout out to Steve Harvey, DJ, I don't know what it's called, D Nice, I think it was called. Um, the members of Earth, Wind, and Fire that were there, and the members of the Isley Brothers, including Ron Isley. Now, number 10 of the top 10 Isley Brothers songs, we have Between the Sheets, 1983. Number 9, we have Harvest for the World, 1976. Number 8, Work to Do, 1972. Number 7, Hello, It's Me, 1974. Number 6, This Old Heart of Mine, 1965. Number 5, It's Your Thing, 1969. Number 4, Groove With You, 1976. Excuse me, 1978 was Groove With You. Number 3, For the Love of You, 1975. Number 2 is Voyage to Atlantis, 1977. And of course, the finale on the verses, number 1, That Lady Parts 1 and 2, 1973. You got to put it up there. Who's the lady? Who's that lady? All right. That was the top 10 list of the week. And that has been another episode of the Crisscross Corner. Please subscribe to the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Anchor. Please support the podcast with $5 a month on Anchor. Anchor.fm/crisscross corner/support. Thank you for your support. Please leave a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and other podcast platforms. Please stay safe, social distance, and be nice to each other.